We have a strange profession, and that unlike many other professions like medicine, engineering, and painting and paper hanging, in our profession, when people first start off, we expect them to be experts. The first year teacher, actually they expect to be rated outstanding in their first year. And in many ways, we see them as similar to 20-year-old veterans. If you look at other professions, like medicine, they start with the registration years. They have practices. They call it the practice of medicine. Painter and paper hangers, they go through an apprenticeship. And they have a series of steps before they get there. And I think that's the kind of thing that we need to think about in our profession. And what I've been doing for the last 25 years is screwing it away and collecting data. I have close to 250 million students in the database to try and say, if I could take all the influences from the home, from the family, from the principal, from the schools, from the finance, from the policies, from the curriculum, from the teacher, from the strategies, I've got them all. This is the kind of influences which negatively affect achievement. Now here's the good news. There's not much we do to kids that harm them. 95 to 98% of things that we do in the name of enhancing achievement does enhance achievement. All you need to enhance achievement is a pulse. And so when politicians and parents and everyone gets up and says, we know how to fix schools, they're right. If they say they can improve achievement, because everybody can. And that's one of our problems of our profession, is we have lowered the base so far to say, can we improve achievement? The teacher who comes and says, look, this is the performance of the kids at the start of the year, this is their performance of later at the end of the year. To me, they're criminal. We need to get rid of those teachers, because everybody can do it. What about programs? Now I say here deliberately deep programs, because this is what you hear all the time. You've got to have problem solving, you've got to have deep thinking, you've got to have individualized instruction, you've got to have problem-based learning, you've got to match kids' learning styles with their teaching. So what do you think? No. They don't matter. And I want you to remember this, because I'm going to come back to this in a moment. Technology. Oh, come on. All we need to have is laptops and technology, and then things will be marvelous. Now, you know the answer, don't you? No. And the interesting thing about technology is that we've been doing these researches now for almost 40 to 50 years, asking the impact of technology. And the common claim is, but wait, the technology revolution, it's coming upon us, this new thing is going to come out, this new app, this new internet, whatever. Well, for the last 40 to 50 years, that effect size has not changed. Technology is the revolution that's been coming for 35 years. And it's not here yet. Let's get to the good story. Now, the first thing with those numbers, you can see, they're dramatically different. And my point is that the biggest effect in our business is expertise of the teachers. It's the teachers who work together. I'll say that again. Teachers who work together, collectively, collaboratively, to understand their impact. And that's probably the biggest single most factor in this business, that teachers and principals and systems that go into classrooms, that go into schools, that go into to systems who say, my job is to understand my impact, are the ones that have the biggest effect. Not the teachers who say, my job's to cover the curriculum, my job's to get kids through the exams. It's teachers who say, I want to understand my impact. Now, it begs the moral purpose question. What is impact? And that's a really critical question. And it's not just scores on tests. One of the things that I think is critical is how do we get kids to reinvest in this business called learning? So
to teacher ownership. We need to shift our thinking. Now, just let me be clear. Of course, teachers need to be held accountable. But if every system and everybody's focus is all around evaluating teachers, as if that's the answer, we will never get there. Instead, what we should be obsessed with is teacher ownership. What do I mean by that? When you own something, when you own a store, a little pharmacy, or you own anything, you are accountable for the results because it's yours, and you have complete freedom. It's yours, you own it. So ownership is two things. It's accountability and freedom. It's actually the essence of charter schools, but it is also the way all schools need to run. Because if you give teachers ownership over what they do, they will be on fire, and we see it in our schools every day. Peter Drucker, who I really admire, and he was, as many of us know, the guru of modern management, wrote a book right around the time I was thinking about opening a school, a little over 10 years ago, called Management Challenges for the 21st Century. And Peter Drucker said that the conditions that inspire and make productive knowledge workers are completely different than the conditions that you need for productivity among manual laborers. Specifically, that you must empower knowledge workers. And if you tell them exactly what to do, and this I thought was such a profound insight that he brought, if you tell a person exactly what to do, they will never improve. I thought that was so interesting.